can't tell you how much in awe I am of nature. You ever heard of a pistol shrimp? Well, here's a shrimp that's the size of your index finger. Is that, no, index finger? Finger? I think that's the index finger. Or maybe half of it. Anyways, something like that, small. And this shrimp has this almost like a deformed body, if you will. One of its claws is huge, ginormous. The other claw is not. And so the ginormous claw, what it can do is it's almost like a spring-loaded mechanism where it pulls back, and when it snaps, it releases this bubble that can be 4,000 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, something like that, which is almost as hot as the surface of the sun. So you have this tiny little shrimp that has this huge claw, and the mechanism, it pulls back, and then it snaps like that, sending a bubble to stun its prey because of the heat and I guess the explosive nature of that bubble literally exploding from the claw. I sit there in awe of how could that possibly be? How could a little, there's no combustion. I mean, what I mean, no combustible device, there's no gunpowder or anything like that. It's amazing to me. I mean, could you even create that if you wanted to as a human being without having some kind of combustible device? So you're a shrimp underwater, and the cold temperature of the water, you pull this, you're this big, and you pull this tiny little arm, it snaps and creates this bubbles that are so forceful when they explode, and it makes this explosion. There's 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit or so. I guess it's Fahrenheit. I find that to be insane. And it makes me so incredulous about how arrogant human beings are to think that we know all the answers when there's no way we could replicate this. I mean, could you? And the shrimp wasn't put together with GMOs or some kind of genetic modification through science. It just is. And you're going to tell me that the randomness, the coincidence of the primordial soup, the Big Bang Theory, where all this was created out of nothing. How do you, the arrogance to assume that could possibly be true is nuts. But also, when you think about it, doesn't it kind of also make you just recognize how inconsequential you as an individual are in the overall scheme of not just humanity, but nature as itself, the cosmos, and how insane it is to assume that God's divine nature or what is on his mind. You see, but the Bible says, no, I get it. The Bible is God's word. I get it. But you can understand the Bible. There's no way you can understand God. No way. And if you can't understand God, then why are the idea that you can understand God is, in my opinion, the arrogance. You couldn't get more arrogant. Because if you truly believe in creation or in intelligent design even, and I don't know how you could not actually, just with the mathematics behind the randomness of this, and then you hear these little tiny little things that can do that kind of stuff, which can't be replicated by human beings. And this is just instinctual for a pistol shrimp. It's just what they're born to do. They don't have any conscience. They don't care if what their prey is going extinct. They don't care. This is just what they know how to do. All based on random. And so the randomness of all that, the coincidence of all that, it doesn't make sense. And so there's a design there, some kind of intelligent design. I would say a Christian God who sent his son to die on the cross for us, and then he was raised from the dead to free up the gates of heaven. But does it show you how silly it is also, again, from the Christianity perspective, to sit there and argue about legalistic terms about people, how they should preach and should follow God? I'm just sitting there thinking, really? It bores me. It bores me, the legalistic. Well, if you, I don't know, pray the rosary, you're going to hell. Or if you, I don't know what it is, go to church on Sunday, or, work on Sunday, you're going to hell. Or if you, what do Catholics say? I don't even know what we say. I don't know. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he goes to a Bible study of Protestants, and we're just kind of talking about the difference between Catholics and Protestants, and I just, I get it, but I'm just like, all that stuff just bores me, man, because I just think the vastness of God is so huge. There's no way for us to know there's just no way for us to capture his essence other than knowing God is love. Literally, God is love. You see what I'm saying? It's like God is love. It's like Jesus says, I am. You are what, Jesus? I am. God is love. What is love? That is God. What is God is love? Does that make sense? And you're sitting there thinking, that for us is not even conceptual. Can't even conceptualize that. It's so vast. And then when you hear about something like the pistol shrimp, and you recognize what all we don't know, what all we can't do, how inconsequential that we are in the overall cosmos of things, that could actually lead one to be despondent. It's like, I have no meaning. No. I think it's the exact opposite. I think you have meaning just by your ability to be. That is meaning. Just by being here, you have meaning. And even if you feel you have no meaning for your own ability to change the world, to do great things, or whatever it is, you have meaning to others. You are consequential to other human beings. Even if it's just that one guy in the grocery store that you smiled at, you don't know what kind of difference you can make to that person. Even if it's just like we give the mail people, $20 and every time. I have no clue what the mail lady's going through. And maybe her, by receiving that $20 gift with a card, could make or break her day. I don't know, but there is a consequence to our actions, even if we don't feel it. You might not have meaning you feel for yourself and what you're trying to accomplish in your life. You do have meaning by your ability to affect other people without question, by your sense of righteousness and justice that says, I want to help me have meaning for other people. And if it means a smile, we also give the trash guys, we give them, my wife made 2 cartons of fudge for them, and we give them $20 each. We have meaning. And a smile. The money's good, the gifts are good, the smile, the respect, the putting of value on other human beings is a meaningful. You have meaning. You are of consequence. And you sit there and you look at that pistol shrimp, and I didn't even know what a pistol shrimp was until I was taking Maddie to work today because my car's in the shop. And she listens to some podcasts with the people who do like College Jeopardy or something like that, or College Trivia. I guess they have a road show, so it sounds like they're pretty popular, and it's actually somewhat entertaining. A little bit not my cup of tea necessarily, but they're talking about this pistol shrimp. I said that just can't possibly be. It can't possibly be, and yet there it is. And you can look on YouTube and you're like, that's freaking insane, how these pistol shrimps can work. And then you start thinking in awe of the everything that's around you, that you have no clue. The mycorrhizal bacteria that is so necessary for growth of trees, of plants, which are so necessary for us. You see what I'm saying? Which are so necessary for us spewing out the CO2. That just, the whole thing is insane. And every single living being on this earth has a consequence, is consequential. And as a human being, by divine creation, to be able to have a conscience, to know the difference between right or wrong, to have morality. This is where I take issue with atheists. They say, oh, well, just because we don't believe in God doesn't mean we don't have morality. I said, no, I don't. I completely agree. But your morality is basically whatever you choose it to be. There is nothing that says your morality has to be to take care of the indigent, take care of the poor, not to kill people, not steal my private property. You could all say, in mass, our morality has changed. Thus, we're going to throw young kids to the Aztec gods or Mayan gods. And that's completely moral in that society. The Christian God would say, no, that's not moral. You shouldn't be doing that. But you could. Well, why do we think that's not moral? Oh, just because right now our Judeo-Christian mindset that we live on says you shouldn't be doing that. But there's other morality that says you could absolutely do that. You could absolutely have slaves. You could absolutely do this to build the pyramids. You could absolutely do that to... I mean, the list goes on and on. Morality can change over time depending on what the situation of the day is. and depending on who's in charge of creating morality. So atheist says, oh, we have a natural morality. No, you don't have a natural morality. Your morality is what you choose it to be. And your morality could easily conflict with mine. So you could say, it's moral for me to take your private property. And I say, no, my morality says it's not. You see what I'm saying? We're got to be at loggerheads. So ultimately, we're going to have some set of morals that are dictated by above, and what we would say as theists, or monotheists, or Trinity believers, doesn't matter, Abrahamic religion, that morality comes from a set divine by above, by the supernatural. And your morality comes from the natural, your natural selves, how you ever decide to be, which means you could change it at a heartbeat. Or like people say, it's against the law to do this. Thus, the morality and the law have to fall hand in hand. No, they don't. You know, under German Nazis, under Soviet propaganda, morality was whatever the government said, because they said this is the law, thus this is the morality. And you can sit there and say all day long, well, good people knew that those morals were wrong. Well, why? Why would they know that? Because it's wrong to kill people? Okay. That's not what many other cultures and religions have stated before. And so why are you saying that's moral us today and they're not? Josh, no, it's not a bridge too far. It's literally morality is defined from what we would say from a religious Abrahamic religion take. That includes Muslims, by the way. And so we have morals that come from above that we dictate to ourselves in order to police our lives. So just going back to morality, it's simply something that cannot be debatable, that is wrong to kill people. Just because you believe as an atheist that is moral today, 100 years from now you might not believe that, and you can still be moral without question, but it wouldn't be moral according to the Western world of looking at things, or the religious sect which says you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, let me just go this way then. All right, forget that. All right, so let's go back to the vastness of the universe as it is, and the awe-inspiring of creation, and just know that if randomness and coincidence to the nth degree can out of nothing can create everything you see before you, then it's true you're inconsequential without question, because you have nothing to do with any of this. It's just you happen to, I don't know why you happen to be born of the conscious, and I still know how you reconcile consciousness. Part two, if you truly believe that, actually what I'm saying is, part two is, because I don't believe that, because I believe we're all in this together, I find it to be incredibly disheartening for so many people to have debates about the most primitive, stupid stuff, and I know that's human nature. When I sit there and I say, there's something out there called a pistol shrimp that can create out of nothing, 4,000 degrees heat temperature in which to stun and thus eat his prey by simply cocking his claw and squeezing it together in a snapping mechanism. Why, if that can happen, should I sit here and say, oh my goodness, we need to have wars over if I believe in the cross and you believe in the crescent, or if you're wearing a yarmulke, or you see what I'm saying? Or if you like freaking Trump, and why would we go over? Why would we have, it doesn't make sense to me. But Josh, you part of taking it too. And again, yes, I get it, I do. Because human beings are flawed. We have the ability to choose right and wrong. What is not flawed is a pistol shrimp. It knows exactly what its reason to be is. Its reason to be is nothing more than to stun prey and eat food to exist, so it can create offspring. That's literally it. We don't have that. We are blessed and cursed with a thought thinking, with a ability to think, to envision, to have a conscience, to have a moral compass. And so because of that, that can create wonderful things, or it can create horrible evils too. And for me as a Christian, I say, man, it's a forever challenge to try to remember the consequence that we all have in other people's lives, and to take that consequence, you're being serious about your ability to affect other people, and your ability to affect other people could affect their ability to affect other people. It's kind of like the pay it forward mentality, and then And just, you got to be in awe. And just sit and be in awe and say, you know something? I don't know what I'm putting on this world. But there's a fork in the road. I can choose to be good according to my morality, however I decide it, because you do have a right to decide your morality, or I could choose to be an ass. And look, I'm going to choose to be good. Doesn't mean I won't be an ass on occasion, but I'm going to choose to be good. And just like they say in AA, one day at a time, I choose to be good today. Or what I always say is 1 minute at a time. I choose not to drink right now. I choose to be good right now. And that's what I suggest you do too. Say, I choose to be good. I choose to smile. I choose to be happy. I choose to be a consequence in other people's lives by bringing them good cheer and goodwill. All right, we'll see you.